Hello, John Chicken here, and I'm here with Dr. Timothy Leary. How are you doing?
I'm great, how are you?
Doing well. Dr. Leary, what are your thoughts on psychedelics?
I want to point out that all children who are over the age of 7 or 8 should take LSD and marijuana regularly. Now that might surprise you to think of chemicals and plants which you have been taught to call drugs. Our children, indeed everyone in our community, regularly need to use the sacraments of marijuana and LSD just the way people in other religions use the sacraments to find meaning, to weave the pattern of the spiritual life. Our religion is called the League for Spiritual Discovery.
What is the League for Spiritual Discovery?
It's the same old pursuit. The aims of our religion are those of every religion of the past. We seek to find the God within, the divinity which lies within each person's body. We call this process turning on. And secondly, we seek to express the revelation, the glory, and the confusion and the paradox which comes to us from turning on in acts of glorification, of communication, of expressing the wonder and the meaning. It's this process of acting it out, and it's called turning on. But in order to turn on and tune in, you must of course drop out. You cannot live a secular, socially conventional life in the country of Canada and pretend the aim of your life on this planet is spiritual.
Timothy Leary, who are you?
I call myself a prophet, a spiritual leader, and at other times I might have been called a messiah or a guru or a shaman or a medicine man. But I think the best term for my position is simply this. I'm like a radio announcer passing on to you the ancient message of a divine presence. Passing on, if you will, the word of God. It's the ancient message which the prophets have told you for thousands and thousands of years, because the message of God never changes. It may be expressed to you in 6 simple words. Turn on, tune in, and drop out.
What do you mean by turn on, tune in, and drop out?
First you must turn on, and after you turn on, you have to express in your actions, in your looks, in your tone of voice, and everything you do about you, the glory of meaning that you have discovered. Today in the United States, and more recently in Toronto, we've all witnessed the resurgence of something called psychedelic art. Psychedelic art, although it's not an avant-garde fad in the art world. Psychedelic art is the most ancient form of artwork known to man. Indeed, we feel all music, all dance, all theater, all painting, all poetry started with this somewhat psychedelic or visionary experience. And that person who's been turned on rushes back to the tribe. He struggles, he hungers, he drives himself to express glory which is God sent.
Thank you for your time, Dr. Leary.
John Chicken here, and I'm with Jerry Rubin. Hello, Jerry.
Hello.
How are you doing, Jerry?
Swell indeed.
What have you been doing?
Well, I just started an anti-protest group on the campus at the University of Chicago.
I see. Why did you pick that specific university?
I picked that university because it is the one I'm currently attending, and there are many students that have the same views as me.
How did all this start?
To be honest, one day after hearing all the commotion about the war and all that, I decided it was time to take a stand about my views. I started having protests at the campus, and many students share the same views as me.
Were you surprised by the students?
Quite frankly, I was surprised I got over 100 students within the first 2 weeks to join my protest.
Tell me your feelings about the war itself.
Look at it this way, Mr. Tree Fan. I don't have a problem with fighting for a cause, but for fighting for no reason is wrong.
I see. What about your phrase, do it?
That phrase came to me one day when I realized that instead of waiting for someone to do something about it, you yourself must be the one to stand up for what you think is right.
Is it true you didn't pay any taxes to the government in 1962?
Yeah, it is true. But I told the government once the war is over, I'll pay those taxes because it was wrong. I'm not going to pay for something I don't believe in.
Alright then, thank you for your time, Jerry. I'll see you around.
Bye.
Tonight we're interviewing Jimi Hendrix. Good to see you. Hey man. People might always ask you to interpret what something means. Do you think music has a meaning? Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's good to be more spiritual still than anything. Pretty soon I believe they're going to have to use music to get some peace of mind, satisfaction, direction, actually. More so than politics, it's just a big ego scheme. Ego scheme? Well yeah, sure man. It's just the art of words which means nothing. Therefore you have to rely on a more earthier substance, like music or arts or theater sort of thing. I heard you use the expression electric church as an ambition of yours. Did you mean this metaphorically or poetically, or did you really want to pursue this? Well, it's just a belief I have. We use electric guitars and everything is electrified nowadays. So therefore, the belief comes in through electricity, through the people. That's why we play so loud, because our music doesn't hit through the ears. We plan for our music to enter through the soul, actually, and waken something in their mind. There's so many sleeping people, if you call it that. Interesting. So do you like to get compliments? Like, what kind of compliments do you like to hear after shows or something that you... I don't really like compliments, actually. I feel they have a way of distracting me. So many artists get compliments, and they get all fat and happy off those compliments, and then they forget about their true talent and go off into some other world.